Hello and welcome to Accelerate. I am Matt Stone. This is the podcast where we encourage and inspire CEOs, founders, and visionaries on their big leap journeys. We talk about the stories and strategies that will help you accelerate toward your big leap destination with purpose, humility, an open mind, commitment to growth, and recognition that the way we get there is at least as important as where we end up. And I'm so delighted that you've tuned in today. All right, it is Thursday, August 11th. I kind of can't believe it. We're now in double digits in August, which means September is just around the corner. And I don't know about you, but where we are here in the New York City metropolitan area, the weather has really taken a turn. I mean, it was, upper 90s Fahrenheit for quite a while, and then boom, it's like 80s. And seems to be in that range for the next, week to 10 days at least. I've never done a full set of seasons here. So it's interesting when you've lived somewhere else for a long time, you're kind of not sure what to expect. And then, of course, climate change is throwing out the, trends in exchange for even more volatility. So who knows? I guess we just got to take what comes at this point and do our best. But it's a reminder is what I'm saying, that, the seasons are changing, and I kind of can't believe that fall 2022 is like just knocking on the door. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it is. So here we are. And as I think about the passage of time, that's really what's on my mind today is in these enterprises that we're all in, the passage of time is, things can go really quickly. They can go really slowly. They can happen simultaneously, depending on how you segment, how you see your business and other things. Like, for example, in your business, you might have certain things that are happening, maybe a sales cycle, and it just feels like it's so slow. But in some other areas, time is flying. So it can be very contradictory, and it can feel a little bit unmoored sometimes from a rhythm, particularly if you're running your own business or building something new or doing something unknown. It can feel very unmoored. And I think a lot of anxiety that a lot of us feel in these leap journeys, these transformational journeys, is going between feeling anchored because something happened that anchors you, and then unanchored, unmoored, unfocused, priorities all out of whack, back and forth and back and forth. There's a lot of exhaustion in that. And I think managing energy is probably one of the most important things we can do in terms of dealing with that volatility internally that can be very draining. So I think it's a Thursday, and I just find that throughout the week, by this time, mid to late week, as I look at what I set out to do in the beginning of the week, some of those things have happened, and other things have happened that are unexpected. And, how untethered am I from my center? And how do I get back to my center? One way I do it is I write out an intention that has to do with other people. So yesterday, for example, I have a little whiteboard, and I wrote, who can I reach out to and help today? I'm actually turning my head to read it, and I'm going to leave it for today because it's such a good one. But that was my way to recenter myself in a purpose, because I had a lot of disparate things going on, and I was feeling a little bit unmoored, and that really helped. And actually, I did reach out to help somebody, and it was really fulfilling. And the last reach out I did was like 11 o'clock p.m. That's how late. But it was so on my mind that I was like, no, I really want to make this call before I go to sleep. And that was a really, really good move. And so I'm going to leave that for today as well. But I guess what I encourage you to do is, if you feel disconnected from your purpose, disconnected from, wait, what is this all about? My mission, what's important to me? If the fear is kind of winning out, the anxiety about unknown things, uncontrollable things, is kind of got more power and more purchase it's a good time to just recenter and focus on how can I be of service to somebody? And that almost always ties me back to what my core values, core purpose, who I really am. And then I feel moored again and also feel useful. Because again, if you don't work, even if you do work for a big organization, you can feel completely untethered and unmoored. If you're trying to lead some big change initiative and you're in a big or a middle-sized organization, you know exactly how this feels. So I don't want to single out all the solopreneurs and entrepreneurs and solo practitioners, et cetera. We do not own the license on this feeling at all. So all of us can benefit from reconnecting with who we are, and that's always in finding somebody to help. And so who can you help today? That's the question. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. And I just want to thank you for listening. You know, we passed the 1,500 downloads, all-time downloads. Now, that does include the prior version of the podcast, but we've had hundreds and hundreds of downloads for this version as well. And I'm just really excited. 1,500 for some reason just feels significant to me. And that's with zero marketing. So I think it might just be time to start talking about this podcast openly on my own social media channels. And I'm going to talk about why I haven't done that yet in a future podcast. That's a whole other topic. But for now, I just want to say 1,500. So I want to thank you for being a part of that. Please share this podcast if you find value in this. I hope it is a daily vitamin pill, something that gives you a little bit of nourishment that helps you face whatever you're going to face that day. Keep your head on straight. Remember who you are. Stay connected with your purpose, because life ain't easy and our ventures are not easy. And together we can get through the hard stuff and realize our dreams and help other people more meaningfully. So that's the purpose. If that resonates with you and you know other people who are on a purpose-driven mission who'd like to connect with a message of being true to yourself on a daily basis, one day at a time, and not forgetting who you are in the process, I encourage you to share this podcast with them. And I'm going to start talking about it now on LinkedIn and elsewhere. So we're going to build this thing, and it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And I just want to thank you for being an early adopter and part of this, what I hope becomes a vibrant community. So with that said, have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, or morning, wherever you are listening. I'm really grateful that you're here. Bye-bye for now.